This is Math 2, second semester final review. Right now we're working on Unit 9. Questions from this section? J, I sure can. No. F?
No.
All right, stop the talking, please.
D for Daniel.
Okay. Starting off, actually, I do want to talk about A or B. Just talk about a big mistake that kids continue to make. They see the parentheses and they treat it as a distribution. Is this a distribution?
No.
No. What's in the middle? Addition, which means it's combined like terms. Is there anything to distribute on either parentheses? Which means we do what with the parentheses? Drop them. 5x squared plus 3x minus 7, please stop, plus 2x squared minus 8. I'm going to let you guys finish it, but you have like terms here to combine. And remember, when you combine like terms, you only add the coefficients. Exponents do not change. On this one, I can drop the parentheses on the first one, but what do I have to do first on the second one? Distribute the minus sign, the negative. Negative 2x squared plus 8. And then again, you combine your like terms. Got it? Okay, letter D. Now, I'm going to cover the second part over here. Is this drop the parentheses, or is there anything to distribute? Have to distribute what? Not in the second part, right here. What is it? 3C? When I distribute, I multiply coefficients and do what with exponents when they're like bases? Add. Okay, so 3 times 4 is? And then c to the 1 times c cubed. Good job. Minus 3c times 5 is? 15c. Now, right here, kids always like, oh, I'm going to distribute. You only distribute when there's plus or minus signs in the parentheses, like there is here. Is there any plus or minus sign inside the parentheses? No. So it's just straight multiplication. What's c to the first times 9c to the first?
C squared.
There you go. And then, are there any like terms on this one?
Yes.
Are there?
Yeah, there's one.
Cubed, first power, second power. Any like terms?
No.
So let's just regroup it. What goes first? The cube, the squared, or the 12c cubed? Minus 9c squared? Minus 15c.
Oh, it has to be in order.
Yeah. Okay. Questions? Letter to letter E, if you didn't do that one already. I'm not going to do this one, but can anybody tell me what the process is called? There is a multiplication in between. It's not addition.
Double distribution.
Beautiful. Double distribution, or the window method for those of you that liked the window method, or FOIL if you called it FOIL. Okay. This one here is very similar because there's a multiplication in between, but instead of double distribution, this is triple. Now, technically, because multiplication is commutative, could you put the 2x minus 5 in the front? Like, could you flip-flop these two and then do double distribution? It's going to come out exactly the same either way, your choice. If you do the window method, I'll try to squeeze it in over here. It would be a little different. So you'd have 3x squared plus x minus 4 and then 2x and negative 5. And you'd fill it in. I'm going to do it triple distribution. What's 3x squared times 2x? Anyone? 6x to the third? Yeah, because there's a 2 there and a 1 here.
Or just trickery.
Trickery. Okay, 3x squared times negative 5 is negative 15x squared, and I don't think I gave myself enough room. All right, what's the next thing to distribute? X times 2x is plus 2x squared. Good. Bless you. Positive x times negative 5 is minus 5x. And are we done?
No.
What's the last thing to distribute? The negative 4. Negative 4 times 2x is negative, yeah, negative 8x. And negative 4 times negative 5 is plus And now we combine like terms. Does 6x cubed have a like term? No, so it stays 6x cubed. Does this one here have a like term?
Yeah.
With what?
2x squared.
Okay, negative 15 plus 2 is negative
It's 13 squared.
x squared. It stays x squared. And then negative 5x combines with negative 8, which is negative. And then, does this one have a like term?
No.
No, so just plus 20. And that there is your final answer.
Oh my god.
Could I combine these two? Anyone have an answer to that? Could I am I able to combine these two? Why not? They don't have the same exponent. Right. In order to combine adding like terms, they have to have the same variable, the same exponent. And since they do not, I'm not able to combine. It's only when you're multiplying that you add the exponents. When you're adding like terms, they have to be exactly the same. And you only add coefficients. Got it? Okay. No one had a question on H?
Actually, yeah, can you do H?
Okay. I'm going to rewrite it. First off, can I distribute that exponent like that? When there's a plus or minus in parentheses, am I allowed to distribute the exponent? No. So does anybody remember what I do with the 5y minus 1?
Write it twice.
Write it twice and double distribute. Is it okay if I distribute the 2 first? No, it's not. Why? Because of the power here. So I have to do this. 2, 5y minus 1 times 5y minus 1. Now, the next step, I've told you guys in the past, it's up to you. If you wanted to, could you distribute the 2 right now?
You could.
To both parentheses or just one? Just one. It doesn't matter which one. I choose, yes, you're right. I choose not to. I like to do it at the end because I'd rather double distribute smaller numbers. But kids always choose to distribute first and then do your double distribution. Totally up to you. All right, so let's do that. Let's double distribute first. What does that give me?
25y is the second.
Okay, and then minus,
10y plus
you are correct. You're a step ahead of me though. So minus 5y, and then what does the next piece give me? Minus 5y and plus 1 or minus 1? Okay, and before I distribute the 2, what can I do inside? Combine, and because they have the same exponent, I am allowed to combine. 25y squared minus what? 10y plus, and then the very last thing is distribute your 2. Did anybody distribute the 2 first? No? Okay.
So much order.
Some kids in my other class did, and we verified, and we had the same answer. What does that equal? 50?
50y is the second.
Uh-huh.
Minus 10y.
Minus 20y? And then
2.
plus 2. Good job. Okay. Questions? All right. Take a look at J. Is J just like H, or is it more like 1 and 2?
It's like
Why is it more like 1 and 2?
Because
Adding and subtracting, it's not a multiplication problem. Do you guys see the difference? Okay, I'm going to look over here. On these 2 parentheses, is there anything to distribute?
no.
So can I just drop those?
Yeah.
On this one, am I allowed to just drop?
No.
What do we have to do first? Okay, so you write it out. 4x squared minus 5x plus 6 plus 9x squared minus 2x. And what do we get when we distribute? Minus 11x plus 3. Okay. Like terms, do we have like terms on this
Yeah,
problem?
yeah.
Yeah. 4x squared with,
9x.
what does that give me?
13x.
Good job. 13x squared, and then what else?
Minus 18x.
Okay, she got minus 18x. Can anybody, she's correct. How does she get minus 18x if I only have
Why? Because it's negative 5 minus 2, which is 10, and then
negative 7, you mean?
yeah, sorry, negative 7, and then minus 11.
Good job. A lot of times we don't see that extra one. There are 3 terms that are alike on that one. Negative 5x, negative 2x, negative 11x, which you said was what?
Negative 18x.
And then at the end, what do I have?
Plus 9.
Plus 9. Is this a monomial, binomial, or trinomial? Trinomial because it has
Trust.
3 terms. Ooh, another thing we haven't talked about is in a while. Is it linear, quadratic, or cubic?
Quadratic.
Quadratic is correct. Why is it quadratic? Because of the squared. If the degree, the highest exponent is a 2, it's an x squared. It's not on the final, but
Watch me fail this and no, I know it.
but it was stuff we did when we did this unit. Okay. Next one. More like the one we just did, or more one where we're doing double distribution?
The one we just did.
The one we just
Let's just turn the page.
turn the page. But be careful. Is there plus or minus signs in there? No. So this is not like this one. It's more like the double distribution. Do you agree? Now, when we did this, I told you guys to do those two first,
Actually, do K.
just like you usually would. Yeah, this one right here, right?
I get it.
Okay. So right there, do double distribution if you've not done it already. Go ahead and do that now. Okay. What did you guys get when you did the double distribution? Good. She said 3x squared plus 18x plus x plus 6. And does that combine to 3x squared plus 19x plus 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you do triple distribution.
Good job. And then we now do triple distribution, or you move this one to the front and do double distribution, your choice. If you're doing the window method, then you have it like this. 3x squared, 19x, 6, and x and negative 2, and you're filling it all in. Okay. Do you guys want me to continue, or we already did a triple distribution? You're good.
We're good.
Continue? Okay. Now, Veretti, I'm going to have you help me out with the first part, which I'll put in purple. Distribute the 3x squared to both of those. What does that give you? Good. Keep going, please. 6x to the second. Good job. Kashari, give me the second one that I'll put in green. Distributing 19 to both of them. 19x times x is x squared. And then 19x times negative 2 is negative what? Negative 38x?
Yeah.
Okay. Kyle, give me the last piece. Right here. You can handle that one. 6 multiplied to both of them. What does that give you? Good job. And then you combine your like terms. All right. X cubed, the 3x cubed is staying by itself. Negative 6x squared and 19x squared, what does that give me?
18x squared.
Positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive 13x squared, negative 38x and positive 6x,
32x.
plus or minus? Minus 32x, and then minus 12. Did anybody use the window method and it got the same answer? Good. Questions? Okay, let's flip over to the next page. And this next page is all about reviewing your factoring skills. So I'm going to pick a few to do with you. And then after that, you guys can give me more if there are more. I want to do A. I want to do C. H. I. J. Yeah. So let me do those first on my laptop, please. I want to do those first and then open up for questions. Are we ready? Okay, starting off with A.
Why are we doing Unit 9 if it's not on the board?
This was last week's assignment, but I haven't gone over it. Right now I'm just going over questions. All right, so taking a look here, does anybody remember what type of factoring we always try to do first? Good job. She said it. What was it? GCF first if you can. All right, is there anything that goes into 12 and 18?
2.
Okay, I heard 2, I heard 3. Anything bigger? 6. Anything bigger?
No.
Okay, now, if you've forgotten, with variables we take the smaller exponent. So would I write down x squared or x? Looking here. X, because that's a smaller exponent. Y cubed or y? Y. And then 6 times what is 12? 2. Now, I have an x to the first, and when I multiply, I want the exponents to become x squared. What do I put here? X. I have y to the first, and when I multiplied, I want it to be y cubed. Y squared. Minus. 6 times what is 18? Now, some kids will do this. Is that okay? They'll say, oh, well, there's an xy. I should put an xy. If I did put an xy, what's xy times xy? X squared, y squared. Is that what I have there? No. So really, what should it be? Just the 3. Good. And that there is your answer. Does anybody remember what I told you guys to always double check in here? That there is no what? GCF. For example, instead of 6, if you picked 2 or 3, there would still be a GCF in here. Then you would know to fix it. All right. Next one, C. Is there a GCF? Ask yourself that on every question. Is there a GCF? No. 2 terms or 3 terms? 3. Both the 2 terms, the difference of 2 squares, and the 3 terms look the same as far as factoring. They're double bubble like this. But this is the trinomial guess and check. Does anybody remember what goes here in these first 2 spots? Good. Why? Because x times x is x squared. Michael, do you remember how to use this number here to determine what your 2 signs are? If they're the same or different. What are they? Same or different? Different. You are correct. Can you tell the class how you know that?
I can't really explain why I just know.
You just know, you have it memorized? Okay. Does anybody know why it has to be different? Yes. Because it's negative. Why? Why do negatives have to be different?
Because
Because
you can't have the same.
we can't have the same one? Yes.
How does it be different because there's a plus sign in front?
Doesn't
Oh, wait,
have
no,
to
that
do
means
with...
it has to be the same if it's a plus sign, but if it's a negative, it's different.
Okay. So a few of you are saying I memorize when it's negative it has to be different. Seth?
Because you have to multiply a plus and a minus, make a minus.
Did you guys all hear that? These last 2 numbers here we're going to multiply to be negative 15. He said the only way to be a minus, a negative, is if one's positive and one's negative. What would happen if they were both negative? Positive, and we don't want a positive. Okay, this is where you list your factors of 15, 1 and 15, 3 and 5.
3 and 5.
And you guys said 3 and 5? Now remember, one of them has to be negative. Which one's going to be negative so it adds up to positive 2? So negative 3, positive 5. Is x times x, x squared?
Yeah.
Is positive 5 times negative 3, negative 15? Yes. Does anybody remember what number I've not yet checked and how to check it? How do I check the 2?
Plug it in that.
Do you guys remember that? And then we do our smiley face when
Oh,
we're done.
yeah.
Okay, what's 5 times x?
5.
X times negative 3. Can you guys please stop? Negative 3x, add them together. Together, what do you get? Is that the middle? Yes, then we celebrate because we're happy, and this here is our answer.
If you already did some of this, can you just like move on?
All right. Okay. Next one. H. Is there a GCF? No. How many terms are there? Now, two terms. What do you notice about x squared and 36? They're both perfect squares, and what sign is in the middle? Does anybody remember what this is called?
Imagine. Or it's not a.
I'll give you the letters we used. What was it? Difference of two squares. Do you guys remember that? Dots is difference of two squares. All right, see if you remember how to do it. Isaiah? Howard? No, not mine. No, that's S9. That's, I think, over in the side. Is S9 science?
Oh, my bad. It's S4 here.
Yeah.
Samuel Oda.
Samuel. Samuel, how do you not pick up your notebook?
Bro, my pictures.
Did you forget?
I had to concentrate.
Bro, they're just sophomores.
All right.
Torres wouldn't let me take a picture for you.
Oh, that's,
No, I was like, I came in at 7:30, and then I was like, can I go take her picture? We're on a summer field trip.
I feel kind of bad now, but you had all day. You had all day before my class to go do it. All right.
Do not see me.
Shh. Guys, stop the talking.
3rd year in a row, I'm not gonna be in the airport
And they had retakes, Raymond.
because of you. That was me taking it.
All right. Shh. Guys, paying attention. Okay. Hey. You guys are doing so well, so please stop. All right, so good. Shh. Difference of two squares. No.
Different.
Stop. Shh. Yes.
Just put X and X.
Okay, he is correct. X and X, stop the talking.
And then -8, or -6, and then +6.
Beautiful. Good job.
Yeah,
All right.
No.
So, take the square root of x squared, x and x. What's the square root of 36? 6, and then you put the 6 and the 6. One's minus, one's plus. If you put plus minus, does it matter? No, as long as one is positive and one is negative. Now, we never really checked these when we did them. Please stop. We never checked these, but if you did, what would you get in the middle? Eventually 0, yes. Negative 6x, and what do you get out here? And you add them together. Is that 0? And does it make sense that it's 0 because there's nothing in here? The middle term is missing. It's 0x. Yes? All right. Next one.
Wait, I have a proposal. Can we just do the volume?
Guys, I am going to continue. If you've done all this already, or you're doing it now and you've moved on, you can continue working on the packet. Eventually it all has to be done. I am going through and just answering questions to make sure you guys are ready for the test,
Alright, so.
for the final.
So you're saying it's okay?
I said yes. Oh.
I
Yes.
think it's okay. I don't have to pay attention until the
You know what,
volume part.
Daniel? That is up to you. It's your grade. How you prepare and study is up to you.
I'm a pass.
Okay. Stop. Okay. Letter I. How many terms? Is there a GCF? Because that's the first thing we should always ask ourselves. No. Okay. 3 terms. Yes. Yes. Please, Navarrete, please. Okay. Taking a look. Taking a look right here. 3 terms. Does it look like the trinomial guess and check like this one? X squared x, a constant. Y squared y, a constant. Does it look like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we do double bubble. Now, here I usually just put y and y. Is that going to be enough?
5, 1.
Okay, so 5 factors of 5 are 1 and 5. So 1y and 5y. If you put 5y and then 1y, would it matter?
Can you just put 5, 1, and 1?
Yes. Yes. If you didn't put the 1y and you just put y, that's fine. Okay. Michael helped us earlier. Who can help us with this one? Same or different?
Same.
Same. Can you tell us why? Because in order to multiply to a positive, they have to be same. Plus plus or minus minus. Where do we look for help? This one here, the neighbor. Good job. And what does the neighbor tell us? Plus, plus. Okay. What are the factors of 2?
1 and 2.
1 and 2? Okay, guys. Now, here is where you have to be careful. Luckily, there's not a lot of factors, but you could do this, 1, 2, or what's the other choice? Those are two different answers. They're not both going to work. You have to check and check, add them up, and see which one it is. Is it 1, 2 or 2, 1? Go ahead and check it now. Okay, please stop. All right. Some of you guys already figured it out. What is it? 2, 1. Check it. 10y in the middle. 1y outside. What does that add up to? Is that the middle? Yes. Shh, stop the talking. All right. Next one. Is there a GCF? 9 and 25. What do you notice? Oh, how many terms?
2.
And are they both perfect squares? Is there a minus? Yeah, are they both perfect squares?
Oh,
Yeah, so is this a difference of 2 squares? Okay. Was it Daniel? No. Who gave it to me earlier? Was it you, Michael? Whoever gave me this one up here that said X and X and 6 and 6, it was Adam. Okay. Adam gave us the last one. Who can help us with this one? Yes. Say it again. 3. 3 and 3. 5 and 5. Plus minus, and then where does the x go is what they're saying. X goes with the 3. 3x plus 5 and 3x minus 5. That's it. If you put minus and then plus, does it matter? No. Okay. Now, there was a request for F. Before I go back and do F, any questions on any one of these? Okay, let's go back to F. Is there a GCF? Is there? Do they all have an A? A squared A, but no A. Do they all have an A? Do they all have a B? B squared B, but no B. Do they all have a B? Is there a GCF? 12? Oh, good. Or 4 but does 4 go into 1? There's a 1 out here in front. Is there a GCF? No. So, look at the number of terms. How many terms do I have? Is it a trinomial? A squared A and then no A. It is. There's extra variables, but we're going to treat it the same at first. Is this going to be A and A?
No.
To get the A squared. Last sign is positive, which means my two signs are? Doesn't mean they're both positive. It means they are the same. And the neighbor's the one that tells me they are both positive. Factors of 32. Okay, you guys already have it. Is it going to be 8 and 4? Does that work? Let's check. A times A is A squared. Okay, 8 times 4 is 32, but I need it to be 32B squared. Where do I put the B's? And the 4 and the 8. Now let's check. Is A times A squared? Is 8B times 4B 32B squared? Yes or no? Inside, I get 8. What's 8B times A? 8AB. And outside, I get what?
4A.
Okay, and add that up, what do you get? So does the AB even come out of the middle the way it should? Yes. So we're happy. We have our answer. When you're adding, you don't add exponents. Yes. Okay. So yeah, remember when you're adding like terms, you only add coefficients. You only add exponents when you are multiplying like bases.
Wait, can you do
This one? Oh, sorry. That one?
yeah,
Okay.
Q.
Okay. So good question. Good. Let's go over this one. I'm going to start you off on L. What's the first thing we always look for? And what's the GCF? And it's more than 5.
5A.
Do they all have an A in common?
Yes.
So 5A times what is A to the third? A squared. 5A squared or just A squared?
A squared.
A squared plus 6A to give the 30A squared plus 9. Okay, now how this one is different from our first GCF, I'm going to move this really quick. Our first GCF we did on this page was just GCF and you were done, right? There was nothing else to do. On this GCF, after the GCF, what do you still have to do here? double bubble and everything. So it's a multi-step factoring or factor completely. It doesn't happen all the times, but sometimes you GCF and then you can still factor. I'll let you guys finish from there. Yeah, this one can still factor because this was a trinomial factoring, guess and check.
25.
You got it? What did you get?
I got A plus 3 and A plus 3.
Okay, he said plus 3 on both of them. Do you guys agree? 3A and 3A, does that give us 6A? Now, if you were taking an open response test, which the final is not, and you wrote this on your answer column, would I be perfectly fine with it? Yes. On a multiple choice test, which the final would be, what's another way you might see this? Put your phone away, please.
The 5A was
Good. A plus 3 quantity squared.
yeah.
All right. So if you write it like this, fine. But if you see this on the multiple choice, should you recognize that it is the same?
Yeah.
Yes?
So on the final, are you going to be graded by your work too, or just the answer?
I do look for work, yes.
Or what if you just like?
If it's a guess.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's an educated guess, but you've had more work on most of the final, I'm good. If your whole final is blank, you have no work and all the right answers, there's a concern. All right.
That means you're no good.
That means you get a 0. All right.
Does that really mean a 0?
Yeah?
Hey, can we go and break this?
Okay.
I need to, I mean, make more.
Okay. Yes.
I need to.
Shh.
I'll put it, like, you know, I did 5A is A squared plus 6A.
Okay, pause right there, Raymond, because I couldn't hear very well because people were talking over here. Okay, I heard, what if I factored out the 5 and got 5 and then A squared plus 6A plus 9? And then you stopped there? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's not okay to stop here because if you factor once and you can still factor, is it wrong if you stop? Yes. Over here, why was it not wrong to stop? Was there anything to still factor? No, you were done. But here, can you still factor?
Yeah.
Yes. So if you can still factor, it's wrong if you stop. You have to continue going. Factor completely or multi-step factoring. Okay. Are we good? Please stop. Turn over. Actually, we're going to stop here.